Hi, welcome to the Rear Views first deep dive. Today, we are going to be talking about a new club on campus, the Commodity Clubs, and I have a special guest with me. Lin, if you want to introduce yourself to our audience, tell us about a bit more about you, what you are doing,
Sure,
and
Julian.
welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. First of all, it's an absolute honor being in here and getting to hang out with you, Julian. So my name is Lin Sunil, and I'm a computer science and finance double major here at Fairfield University with a strong passion towards commodities trading. And the reason why commodities trading is because it doesn't really relate towards computer science, but it's still a field that I'm really interested towards, and the overall goal is to kind of expand upon this field because this field has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. And right now, with technology developing overall, computer science is kind of a necessary skill. So that's why I chose computer science and finance. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. And I like that you went straight into it to talk about commodities. Because as you mentioned, and I was doing a bit of research beforehand, it's a really I don't want to say old because old like in the 21st century sounds really far away, but it's a field that has been there. For the people in the audience that are listening and seeing this interview podcast, could you explain what commodities is?
Sure. What commodities is raw goods. So the stuff that makes up the stuff that we have, that's commodities. For example, the metals. We look in iron, copper. Those are just the raw goods used to make sophisticated technology or even making buildings too, like the concrete in front of us too. That's made out of the sand and the concrete and water. Those are all commodities over there. And what people do is that they trade these commodities because most of the time, a certain commodity is not used in that same country. In order to get certain commodities, you got to get it from other countries. So those are called the suppliers. And then you bring it over to another country, and those are the consumers. So that's what commodity trading is.
Okay. And we were talking the other day outside of the interview and camera, and you were telling me that there is a new commodity club at Fairfield University. Can you talk to me about what inspired you to join this club, form this club, and what's your message to students who might be interested in joining the Commodities Club?
Yeah, sure. So Commodities Trading Club was a club I was planning on making about last year. The truth is I heard about commodities for a really long time now. It's because my dad's in the industry already, and he works for a company called Louis Dreyfus Company. And they're an agri-trading company, so the food that we eat, the clothes that we wear, the cotton, they're all traded from this company. And so I've been around the word commodity and commodity trading, but I really got an interest about this about 2 summers ago when I asked my dad, like, hey, what do you really do? Because I honestly did not know what he did. All he mentioned is, oh yeah, I'm trading from this country to another, but what is he trading? So he didn't say anything. He just gave me a book. It's called The World for Sale by Javier Blas and Jack Farkey. And excellent book, first of all, and really explained about commodities as a whole, about how it's been here for a really long time and commodities trading as a whole. So after reading this book, I thought to myself, like, wow, like Fairfield University really needs to know about this. So I started asking around with my friends if they heard of commodities before, and the answer is no. And that's for good reasons, because if you read this book, The World for Sale, it explains how the commodities world was kind of in secret. They want to keep everything in secret to pretty much hide their stuff from other competitors. And but right now in the 21st century, especially right now, these companies are kind of coming to light, and more people are knowing about it, and therefore more talent is needed too. And that's where I figured, like, wow, like Fairfield University got Doane Business School, one of the best business schools out in Connecticut. And I thought it would be an absolute shame that the commodities industry does not have any of the young talent from Doane Business School. So that's where I went ahead and created the club, Commodities Trading Club. And the point for this club is basically giving awareness about this club and teaching the students, young talent, about this club. And we bring in guest speakers. They come over. These people had 20, 30 plus years in this industry, and they know a whole lot about this industry. And they come over and they teach us about this industry as a whole, whether it's energies, metals, agriculture, etc. They will teach us everything about this industry, and that's what I
Oh, wow.
absolutely love. Yeah. So actually, Javier Blas in this book is going to be one of the speakers, the guest speakers, and he's actually a reporter. He's not an actual commodity trader. He's a reporter, and the fact is that he talked to a lot of these traders, and he knows how the industry works overall. So we thought that he would have some insight that would be really valuable to the students in Fairfield University.
Yeah, no, definitely. And especially when you're talking of the author of the book, which had a really great impact on you coming to campus and talk to students, that sounds like a really great opportunity. You mentioned this phrase, and I literally had to write it down, come into light, of the commodities industry coming to light. What do you think is the important part for students? Because as you mentioned, students might not know what commodities is. And myself, I'm a journalism politics student. I've never heard the word commodities until you came to us to talk about it. Um, so why do you think it's an industry that we can say, quote unquote, is in the darkness and has to come to the light? Why do you think that is an issue that we can talk about?
Sure. So this morning I had a cup of coffee and I was thinking to myself, where did this coffee come from? More specifically, the coffee beans. Who brought it over from which country to where? Which farm did they grow into? And those are the questions that came up to my mind when I had that coffee cup. And that's one of the reasons why I feel like this club is really important, is because it really shows where the raw goods are from. And you need to get like an overall understanding of where these things are from. The farmers, especially the farmers in the United States, Brazil, China, all over the world. We're kind of acknowledging them pretty much. All their hard work, the stuff that we're consuming, we can't live without these farmers. And I feel like bringing this up to light is kind of giving appreciation towards the farmers themselves, letting the people know where the stuff that they're consuming are coming from, especially the raw materials, the food that we're eating, the agriculture. So that's what I mean when I say bring it to light, to kind of give appreciation towards the people that work in the back end, the people we don't see.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything all around the world, there are people working behind the scenes, and we kind of got to give appreciation towards that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's very important now, in I guess like in the 21st century, when there's a more consciousness of where everything comes from. And when we talk about commodities, well, going back to I guess the idea of commodities, trading of metals, everything that related, I guess, with natural resources. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and it's something that it's really interesting. You talk about having guest speakers and workshops through the commodity clubs. Where can students find more information about commodities, the commodity club, if they want to contact you for that matter?
So you guys, there's a new LinkedIn page that I just made about like a week ago. You guys can go ahead and follow that, and we'll be giving like daily, weekly updates regarding what's going on in the club. It's called the Fairfield University Commodities Trading Club. And if you want to reach out to me directly, you can contact me in LinkedIn too, Lin Sunil. That's my full name, and you can reach out to me, contact me, ask me any questions. But if you want to know more about commodities itself, you can look into news sources like Bloomberg, Reuters, any news source in general, BBC especially. It's global trading. So the world as a whole really gives a lot of importance towards it. So if you want to learn more about commodities trading, just a simple Google search will help out too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's something that I did before this interview, because when we think about the field of business in general, specifically here at Fairfield University, we usually think business, finance, accounting, marketing. And even though we have some trading clubs here on campus, commodity could be something that Fairfield University students could be interesting. Lynn, I don't want to take more of your time, but if there's something that I did not ask you that you definitely want to tell our audience, our students who are watching, listening to this, is there something else that you want to tell them?
Absolutely. So when I was pitching the Commodities Trading Club to a lot of these students, the number one issue is that they thought it was just a business club. that only business majors can join into this, and that's not true. Um, I pitched this thing towards a math and physics major, and they were wondering how this could be involved. The thing about commodities trading, you need quant, especially right now in 2024, with computer science getting more and more bigger and more relevant towards every field that we're going to. We need quantitative finance analysts. We need computer science guys. We need people who are doing arts and science as a whole, because it's really a creative field. So overall, what I'm trying to say is that this club is open for absolutely everyone, not just finance guys, but for everyone. So if you're interested, most definitely reach out to me.
Yeah, no, definitely reach out to the Commodities Club, as Lin mentioned. There's the LinkedIn page. So definitely stay tuned for that information getting out there. Lin, one more question. I wanna hear a bit more about that combination of computer science and finance, because it's something that it's, or at least I think it's not commonly out there. That combination. What got you into that?
Julian, do you want me to be completely honest?
Yeah.
So in senior year of high school, I kind of just looked up top 5 most highest paying majors, and I saw computer science and finance in there. And I thought, well, might as well go ahead and do both of them, you know? And I was always interested in computer science. I was also interested in finance, but I couldn't really choose which one I wanted to get into. So I just went ahead and did both.
That is so relatable, because when you're in high school and that process of trying to find a major combination, usually you just go to Google and either Google top 5 schools for this, or definitely that combination. So Lin, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming here to the Rearview Podcast Studio in the lower level of BCC to talk about commodities. Definitely, it's a topic that it's really interesting. So if you're thinking of, into the audience that we have, if you're thinking of business, commodities, anything related to that, definitely contact the Commodities Club. And that's it for today. Really want to thank all of you who are watching, listening to this podcast, and stay tuned, because this is definitely the first, but not the last, deep dive that we're going to be doing here at the Rear View.
That was nice.